Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella and in today's video I'm talking all about my top tips for booking student accommodation and also giving you an inside look into what university halls are really like. People always ask me about my top tips for picking student accommodation. I think because it is the place that you are going to be spending a lot of your time. You know, you're going to be sleeping there. It's where your stuff is going to be. It's actually where you make a lot of your friends as well. So it's really crucial that you pick correctly. And that leads me on very nicely to today's sponsor, Amber Student. Amber Student is a platform where students can book accommodation near to their universities. Amber Student are currently operational in over 100 cities across the world. You know, from Australia to Europe, Ireland, the United States, and of course the UK. They have over 20,000 listings on their platform, so the likelihood is they'll probably have accommodation in your university city. So how does Amber Student work? If you choose to book with Amber Student, you will have a seamless booking experience. So the first step is you just have to search for a property. You can choose from a wide range of options on their website. They have an amazing filtering system where you can, adjust things like budget, flexibility in size, occupancies, like your style, whether you want an ensuite, studio, etc. The second step is to finalize. Amber Student provides their customers with round-the-clock customer assistance and support. And most importantly, they offer a COVID-19 cancellation policy, which obviously in current times is really important to consider. This includes offering free cancellations, relief from visa-related uncertainties, and you also get exclusive freebies and offers from the student benefit program. Then finally, it's time to book your accommodation. So not only will your executives take you through every step of the way, but they will also help you manage the cumbersome paperwork. So especially if you're an international student and you're coming from abroad, this can be really helpful, because I know I would find it really daunting filling out paperwork in never mind another city, but like another country. Okay, so besides all of that, the properties are absolutely stunning. Amber Student actually kindly invited me to visit one of their properties in Nottingham, and honestly, I was absolutely blown away. And I didn't use that phrase lightly, but genuinely, I was absolutely like starstruck by the whole place. The property I went to go visit was called Nova, and they have absolutely everything you could possibly want to make sure you have the best student experience possible. Nova is right in the city centre, so you're right in the middle of the action, with a private gym, stunning rooms, and they have a whole separate block dedicated to socialising. So they have an amazing library, a function room, a kind of like bar slash like drinks party room, a karaoke room. When they showed me the karaoke room, I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I choose these halls? These are incredible. They also have this amazing function room at the top of the halls, which basically overlooks the whole of Nottingham. It's basically got like skylights, and the whole room has basically got these massive windows that show you these amazing views of Nottingham. And I was like, oh, it was at that moment when I felt like I had missed out. And as I said, Amber Student have properties right across the country, so the likelihood is they will probably have student accommodation in your university city. And just to say, if I could choose again, I would have 100% chosen this student accommodation. To check out more of their properties or to even book through Amber Student, you can head to the link in my description. Okay, so now on to choosing my top tips for booking your student accommodation. So the number one biggest question is whether you should go self-catered or catered. I genuinely get this question 24/7, and my answer is that it really depends on you. They both offer uniquely different experiences. Self-catered is definitely for those people who want to be a bit more independent, say you want to have a bit more control over what you eat and sort of like your meal times and that kind of thing. It is definitely much more of like an independent experience, whereas catered is much more social. There are a lot of formals there, you eat breakfast, lunch and dinner together. It is very much a social experience from start to finish. So the next thing you need to think about is what kind of room you want. So there are different types of rooms when you're picking accommodation. You've got standard large, ensuite large, studio, etc. I'm going to explain what each of these mean just in case any of you are confused. I've got you. I'm going to explain which is which. So standard is generally where you just get a room, a bed, a desk. you know, just basically a bedroom, and then you share a bathroom with the other people in your flat. So most of the time standard is the cheapest option, so you can end up paying like £2 less than those who just have an ensuite. I personally didn't have a problem with sharing bathrooms. I thought it was absolutely fine, but I know that some people get quite funny about that kind of thing and, you know, want to have their own space, want to have their own shower, toilet, whatever. I personally thought it was absolutely fine. We had cleaners every single week. It was always clean, and honestly it was quite a seamless experience in that, you know, with that kind of thing. And I was actually really concerned before I went as well, so that's coming from someone who was actually quite nervous about the whole sharing thing. You also share a kitchen and social spaces if you have those. Ensuite is where you have a bedroom and then you have your own bathroom. It's quite self-explanatory. Studio is where you have your bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, the whole lot sort of in your own self-contained little sort of like bed sit. So your kitchen tends to be in the same room that you sleep in. Now, if you are really looking for that sort of independent feel, then that might work really well for you. For me personally, I wouldn't want to sleep in the same place that I eat, but obviously some people that works the best. It also tends to be the most expensive option for obvious reasons. Okay, so the next thing you want to think about is location. So is your hall's location convenient for your lectures? You want to think about travel time, you want to think about if your halls are far away, you want to think about how you're going to get from A to B. So are there good transport links? You know, is it walking distance? Are you going to be able to get the tram, the bus? You know, you need to think about all these kinds of things, because what you don't want to do is book your halls in some far off distance where you will find it really hard to get to your 9 AM. The other thing you want to think about is whether there are a certain type of halls for certain types of courses. So for example, at my university, we have a whole campus called Sutton Bonington, which is dedicated to veterinary courses, like biomedical sciences, and that kind of thing. So they tend to have their own sort of self-contained campus and their own halls. But obviously if you didn't know that, then you might end up booking, you know, far away, and then you're sort of segregated from the action, so to speak. So it's worth considering that as well. Basically, just do your research. So next thing I think about is quality versus price. So you really need to think about what is feasible for your budget. You know, student loans are tight. You know, the maximum you get given, I think, is 8,000. I think if you're in Wales, it might be 9 or 10 grand. I'm not actually sure. But, you know, for the whole year, that's not that much money. I know some people are lucky enough to have parents that subsidise this, or they have second jobs, etc. But you really need to think about what you can afford within your budget. Every single person is different, and so every single person will be able to afford different things. You know, if you're relying purely on your student loan for the whole year, and you need to think about whether you could save money on accommodation to put it towards other things, such as like food, travel, you know, your social life, etc. Also, make sure that you visit your student accommodation to see if it is somewhere you would feel comfortable. Websites do not show accommodations for what they really look like. They really don't. Most of the time the pictures are outdated, and obviously they're going to try and make the rooms look better than they actually are. It's always good to book day tours to sort of have a look around, and also, of course, you know, if you can't do that because of COVID and that kind of thing, then online tours are also great. And here are some other things to mention about, some honourable mentions if you will. Think about the proximity to a corner shop. I know this sounds so bizarre, but take it from someone who has been at university for 3 years. It is so important that you book student accommodation near to a corner shop, or at least, you know, 5 minutes walking distance. There's nothing more irritating. There's nothing more irritating. A lot of people at university don't have cars, so, you know, you want to be able to be within like quick access of a supermarket if you can. So yeah, definitely think about that. I'd say it's good to be close to a corner shop. You also want to think about the laundry situation. Always ask if you can. Always ask about the laundry amenities, because actually not all halls provide laundry amenities. So make sure you check up on that. I think the biggest thing to bear in mind is just pick somewhere where you will feel comfortable. This is your student accommodation, your years at university. Don't go off what your mum says, don't go off what your brother says or your friends or whatever. Pick somewhere where you feel like you will feel most at home, because, you know, you are going to be spending a whole year, if not more, of your life there. And that just about rounds up today's video. Don't forget to check out Amber Student. I will leave the link in my description. Make sure if you are booking student accommodation this year, then you check them out. They are absolutely amazing. Cannot recommend them enough. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like a notification every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @ella.houghton. Follow me on there for all the most up-to-date information on what is going on in my life, and follow me on TikTok. My handle is @ella.houghton and the last O is 0. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!